All right, sure. Let's stand up. Come on, it's perfect. Perfect. Let's get everybody's blood flowing. 4-way test. I think this would be a perfect day for you to start.
Is it true?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Fantastic. How's everyone doing this morning?
Good.
That's pretty good. We've been throwing up napkins in here. It's still morning. So, I'm going to start out with this announcement just because there's a little bit that goes with this. So, we're going to talk about Taste of the Holidays next week. Lisa's not here this morning, but when she is here next week, we're going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to put up a Taste of the Holidays slide, and I'd like us to all just stand up and start clapping for her. Because that seems easy, and it's great that she's not here so we can talk about it. So, all that information next week. Announcements.
Oh, I've got one. Yeah, we set the date for the College and Career Center Pancake Breakfast. And for those of you that are new, the College and Career Center is not funded, is not budgeted by Arcata High. It was started by Jackie Foote and is now run by Darcy and Robbins, and she does a wonderful job. We want to keep this going for as long as we can. They help the students with job shadowing and all those wonderful things. So the Pancake Breakfast is going to be January 26th, so mark it on your calendars. And I'll give out more information in the following meeting.
Excellent. Thank you. Any other announcements?
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody that next Friday, a week from today, is going to be Christmas caroling, and is Vanessa here? We're going to meet at the Griffin, whether Vanessa's ready for us or not. So we'll meet there at like 10 minutes to 6. We'll carol.
Is that when was that?
Yeah, we'll carol.
I will.
Will carol? Who knows?
Will Carol. All right.
Was that the 14th?
I've got an announcement. I want to recognize Melinda here, who got engaged 2 weeks ago. So.
Oh!
I was going to say, do you want to say?
Do you want to say something?
No.
Congratulations.
Off the market, you know.
Other announcements. Wow.
Let's see, President Ray, I'll give a couple of announcements about a couple of RISE events coming up.
A couple? If you're going to do a couple, you have to come to the front. You only get one. If you stand up, you only get one, just so everyone knows.
Two that are coming in December. We have 2 RISE events happening in December. The first is on December 8th, the Ugly Sweater Run. That is a benefit for Humboldt Educare, and it starts and ends right here on the plaza. There's both a 5K run and then also a shorter walk run. So that's happening. And then I understand they're also having if you don't have your ugly sweater, you could go this weekend, connect with Humboldt Educare to be able to make your ugly sweater to be able to run in. So that's happening on December 8th. 2 weeks from this weekend, or a week from this weekend. And then the other event is on the 14th of December, which is Arts Arcada, and we will be caroling the plaza through Arts Arcada. And I think Dick is going to help to coordinate that one. So, okay?
Perfect. Thank you. So, speaking of ugly sweaters, as I understand it, someone thinks that I would look better running in an ugly sweater. So
the club thought that our president should represent us at this event, so we splurged.
I'm looking forward to this. I have no idea what this thing is. So, yeah. Running in ugly sweaters
And
is
in
not
case you
just
want an ugly sweater, the Discovery Shop in Henderson Center sells wonderfully beautiful ugly sweaters.
If you're a woman, they have no men's ugly sweaters.
Well,
I thought a nice tacky sweater vest. I went in there
vests-
yesterday.
The
No.
vests are the best.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Now you've got two.
Wow.
That's
Holy crap.
Wait, just a that.
That was the only one right there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Do we want the Rotary sign on this?
Yeah, put Kiwanis on it.
Interesting one. All right, so, wow, this is.
So I thought maybe a vest would be easier to run in.
I feel.
Yeah.
Pretty.
This is. Well, well, thanks. This is fashion. Oh.
No, I like that.
Oh!
If you run fast enough, the little gremlins will follow you.
Yeah, I'm actually leaving.
I think I'm gonna snow. No, I think this is going to rain snow. So, well, perfect. Thank you. I'll treasure it and wear it all month. Wear it all month.
That won't slow you down a bit.
I'm sure it's aerodynamic, as long as I don't run by any cats. So, I always love to like start off and make people uncomfortable and just boom behind them. So, it may come as a surprise to you that my thank you is up on the board for Rotarian of the Week, and I'm just hovering over you. I don't know if that gives you a feeling, but a Rotarian of the Week is John. Oh, please, before I say that, how do you feel?
Loomed over.
Okay, wary. You are my Rotarian of the Week, and this is going to go back a little bit because you set up all of these wonderful things for us for Taste of the Holidays for PR. There was some help from over here, but those were amazing. You guys did great stuff for that, so thank you a ton.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So, all right, now, we're not, that's a lot. We're going to do a little bit of a twist here. So, I don't have a slide for you, but I'm going to pull up Brandon's PowerPoint, and then we're going to do a graph talk. Do it. All right. That was the first one. The story.
Ray, can I introduce guests while you're doing that?
You know, I absolutely should have done that before, but yeah, why don't we go ahead and do that while I'm setting this up? That's perfect.
You guys know the one. I'm going to introduce Elise. She's a guest. I met her through volleyball, but she works at Jackson and Eklund. Right? Teacher treasurer.
Since I'm terrible and skipped that today, do we have any other guests?
I'm sort of a guest.
You are sort of.
No.
Yeah, I'm not a visiting Rotarian, but anyway. And so I just thought I'd come by and visit. And also, if any of you have heard, I want to reassure you that I'm still living. I had a little stroke on Labor Day. And I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I had a stroke that was a little tiny piece back here in my brain did die, which is a stroke. And on either side of it were some nerves that told my brain what the right side of my vision was. For an hour and a half, I had my right side of my vision compromised. It went away. I have no after effects. Wow. Anyway, so if you heard about the rumor mill, which spreads fast, that had these images, I am continuing to lead a very lucky life. And the Portland Timbers won the Western Conference last night.
Because we have a lot of new members, how long were you a member of our club?
Oh, jeez. I was a member of our club. I came in about 6 months after the club started, but I'd been a founding member of Old Town before that. Yeah.
Years and years.
Wow.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
We have Matt Cendejas at this table here. He will be our program this lovely morning. So, can you hear my comments? All right.
Hey, Matt.
All right.
I have Hayes.
Hi.
Hey.
How am I supposed to see you if you're hiding behind the chair?
Hey. Wave to everybody.
He makes me come though, just so you know. He
Excellent.
wakes up, are we going to Rotary? I'm like, maybe.
And then work.
Huh?
Then work.
Well, I worked late last night, but then he made me come today.
All right, it really is you now.
Okay.
I'll stop.
Should I sit back down? I feel like.
No,
No, you're good.
Okay.
I'll sit.
So my name's, yeah, you can sit right there. Obviously, I'm Brandon. Kakitsuka is how you pronounce my last name, by the way. Just call me Brandon K or BK or what is literally anything. That's fine. I've had
Will you say it
multiple
again?
different.
Yes,
What's that?
Say it again.
Oh yes, Kakitsuka. Yeah, let's all one more time. Kakitsuka. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I've been called like alphabet. I've been called a lot of things. Just because I have a lot of letters sometimes. So, like any good Rotarian, I just threw this together last minute, of course. So, yeah, it's really the story, but the last like 5 years of my life was who needs the beginning, right? Anyways, written by me, yeah, photos by me, digital by me. So
Wow, you do it all.
yeah, I do it all. Thank you.
So Brandon,
Yes.
so if the photos are by you, they're all selfies? Is that what?
Stay
It just
tuned.
came off my phone.
We'll see.
Yeah. So from my understanding of this is just to get to know me better, correct? Am I doing that? Okay, no, we can't tell you. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Tell me after. Great.
I'll tell you after how you did.
I like it. Essentially, everybody always sees me in a suit, and well, obviously the first thing they think is I'm part of the church, which I'm not. But, the second thing they think of is, okay, this is just a guy that goes to business and every day, yada, yada, yada. So this is going to be like me not in a suit most of the time, and that's the point, is that I do have a life outside of work. So, the resume, and I do like to have fun, so, and make people laugh. Anyway, Delaware High alum, HSU alum, I used to be a personal trainer actually back in the day. Yeah, oh, that's right, Maggie. Yeah, nice train Maggie.
When he stopped, I stopped.
Look at her. Thank you. It was fun. It was fun. I used to be a former banker as well. Shannon's not here, but she used to be my old boss, so that was fun. I'm a current student, and that proves.
Ooh.
I was. Does anybody know who that is? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
Who? See that? No, it's Clark Kent.
Well, yeah.
I'm transitioning, but anyways, that was Halloween just like last month. So yeah, there's the personality thing. So here's a couple of my favorite things. I love football and basketball. Actually, anyway, we'll get to that later. I love my dogs. I love my truck. I love my Kansas City Chiefs. I'm a Chiefs fan. My favorite color is blue. My favorite movie is kind of a tie right now. I really like Wolf of Wall Street. Very crude movies, I know. And Deadpool as well. Yeah. Here's a bunch of
Basically the
things.
same film.
They are.
It really is the same. I love Mexican food, enchiladas. And here's a bunch of bands you guys don't know, so I'm not going to name them.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Although I did listen to Queen on the way over here because of Bohemian Rhapsody. So, yeah.
Okay, Brandon, before you go on, how do you say the name of the band after Good Charlotte?
Blink 182.
Blink 18-2, right?
18-2, right?
That's right. This,
That just
what do you
became a
guys
thing.
think? It's Blink 18-2. I'm just kidding.
You're a fan.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. There's like a Twitter debate going on. Oh, so here's my favorite game is Drunk Rock Band. Has anybody ever played Rock Band before? Nobody? It's kind of like electronic rock band. You can actually sing too. You can get really into it, which of course I do. I didn't put the video on here just because, well, I don't really know what's on the video. And it's just more fun when you play drums. So, anyways, there's my Chiefs. So, obviously I didn't name my wife. She's on a later slide, so we'll get to that part too. But my favorite thing is not one, but so here's a couple of pictures of my dogs. Yeah, I love them. So, this one, funny story. So they both are mutts. I got them for free, really. My best friend had puppies, and I had first pick, so I don't know, he was the only that felt good. It was super easy. This is Grace, and this is Jax, by the way. So Grace, I got, when I was at school at HSU, my professor came and brought a dog to class, and was like, does anybody need an extra dog? And I was like, well, I already have one, I don't need one, but then you take them home for a day, and then I couldn't give her back, and so yeah, that's how I got it. Here's a couple other pictures. I love to take pictures of my dogs. That's me, or that's not me. That's my puppy. You know, he's super puppy. He loves to swim. So we love to have parties. They always hang out together. They're always swimming. So there's more pictures, really. Yeah.
No.
I don't know. Okay, Nadia. So my other favorite thing that I love is my truck, which her. No, she's not yet. No, not there.
What year is your truck?
2002, actually. It is an older truck. Yeah, it's actually a really old truck. There's another one, right? So.
Wait, so it's older than you?
It's yes, older than me. Yeah, way older. Yeah. Everybody has a name for their truck, and my old truck was named Bertha, and this one's Nadia. So I don't know. My wife gave me that. There's a picture of her. She's finally made this slideshow, right? So this is encompassing everything I love in one photo, which is why I love it, right? It's got my wife, my 2 dogs, and my truck. Okay, so she finally made it. No! She finally made it. Okay, there she is, right? She picked that photo out on purpose because she said she looked good or something. I don't know. I don't take very many photos, so. There's a couple other ones. We actually got married. So when you said that, congratulations, by the way. Right?
Thank you.
So we got married 3 years ago. We both went to Delmar High School, so we're high school sweethearts. So we've been together like 8 years. I got really lucky. So she actually, when I was playing football at high school in Delmar, her dad was my head coach. So that, of course, went over very well at practice.
Did you play much?
All the time. I think there was a game.
You were nice to her.
Yeah, I was nice to her. Not now, but I was then. Yeah. And here's a couple other photos. So, of course, cliche, this is how I got engaged when I was playing football at HSU. After a game, yeah. Anyways. No, it was actually pretty cool, yeah. But I did, so her family, her parents are right here, and her mom, of course, was like, you know, when are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? And I was like, well, I guess I don't know, do it after a game or something. But I told them, I was like, hey, if we lose, I'm not doing it. I can't do that. And luckily we ended up winning. It was a close game though. For like 5 minutes left in the game, I had no idea if I was going to do this or not. And then I did it. It was pretty fun. So of course we took a bunch of photos of my dogs. We like to incorporate them all the time. They look kind of creepy right here. Okay, so here's my family. After realizing I have a sister and a little brother that aren't in these photos, so this isn't all my family. So, so that's my dad. Obviously my stepdad. He doesn't, you see my mom here in a second. There's my brother. My stepdad, he has been taking care of me ever since I was like 9, and obviously until college. Great guy. It's my mom's high school sweetheart too, so I'm not going to get into that whole story, but if you want to know, ask me. But that is not obviously my real dad, but just the way they met and came back was very amazing too, and I wouldn't be here without him, so I definitely call him dad. That's my brother. He's like my half-brother. Let's get to another one. There's my mom, right? So she loves coming to my games. Obviously I don't play anymore. Nobody plays anymore. We'll talk about that too. But anyways, yeah, so she was always there, and yeah, she's a cool woman. So this is a big part of my life. Obviously, a while ago, so I graduated 3 years ago, almost 4, yeah. And this is the whole reason I even came to Humboldt, actually. I was actually slated to go, like Feather River, does anybody know where that is? Quincy area, right? Nothing out there. So I'm glad I came here, but I was actually running track for high school, and I don't know if you know Rob Smith, the old former coach. His daughter was running track, and I had just got done running hurdles, and like had taken the White Star, whatever that cool award is. And he called me the next day, and because I had sent film and nothing, never no response or anything. And he called me the next day and goes, you know what, Brandon? After watching you, I would really like to have you come play. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. So this is really the only reason I'm here was because of him and because of this. And so that is why I show all these pictures, because it was a big part of my life. And obviously everybody else knows that football, obviously I'm not going to go into that discussion either, but it was for me. And I had a great time. So, especially when you redshirt, so that means you essentially don't play your first year. So I was here in the football program for like 4.5 years, and it was that was all you did: live, sleep, breathe, drink football, and go to the gym. So it was pretty fun. Obviously, those are my two favorite coaches. There's Rob Smith on the one side, so I did get some selfies. So, and then there's Eric Tripp. He's not here anymore either. So there's a bunch. Like there's me and Chase. We had some good times. This is after we won the league, so that was pretty fun. That was at Western Oregon. That was a good time. Actually, I think that's somewhere else, but either way, there's a bunch of photos of us. I like to have fun. Oh, I used to have really long hair too, obviously. Anybody else notice that? This is cool. I don't know who made this photo, but I saw it on Facebook one day, and I was like, oh, hey, that's me. So, that was cool. I think this is in 20. You can tell by the jersey. I want to say it's 2013, I believe. So, or maybe 2012. Either way. So, I also was pretty good sometimes. That's the ball. This is right. Yeah. So that's the point. My coach said this is one of like the top 5 greatest catches he's ever seen in his life. So I had to put this on here, of course. It ended up working out. This is the same day I proposed to my wife. So, this was a great day for me. Yeah. And then they put that in the paper too. So
2 good catches.
Yeah. 2. Yeah. This was the greatest catch, and then shortly after, I obviously made another great catch. So. Alright, some hobbies, right? I actually like to build stuff. I'm not very good by any means. I'm a millennial, so I YouTube everything. And I YouTube this too. And it's very simple. This is like a beer caddy, so I made that for my dad. It's pretty cool, It's so fun. So I just do little quirky things like this. Like I made a blanket ladder, like Shannon's not here, but I made her a blanket ladder. And that's how it started. My wife was like, oh, I really want a blanket ladder. And I was like, I don't have any tools. So I had to start buying tools. Just slowly, like, you can kind of see this workbench behind me. I built that too. That was pretty fun. Just by YouTube. It's amazing what you can learn by trying new things. So I'm by no means any good, but I do have a collection now of stuff to build stuff with. So it's pretty fun. I did build this too. This is like a saw table. So they gave me a saw for graduating, which was kind of funny. And I didn't have a table to use, so I built one. And it's kind of, I don't know, just little fun stuff like that. So
Help with all the classes you can.
yes, exactly. Pretty much. That's just another view right there. I like to think of myself as a concert junkie, and just until recently, I hadn't even been to my first concert until like 4 years ago, and then I have 1 minute. Okay, I'm gonna hurry. So I hadn't been to my first concert till like 4 years ago, and now we just go all the time. So everywhere we go, I always take a picture. So that's like a yellow card. That was just like last month actually. Blink 182. Went to Good Charlie. We got some drumsticks. I think that's actually a real thing. People catch things. So that was pretty fun. And then just a bunch of good times. So I like to have fun. We go to Hawaii. We like to play laser tag. There's your drunk rock band, right? Yeah. I told you it was a real thing. And then my wife just graduated. I like to dress up, obviously, so here's some more photos of me. I think I take care towards the end, right? Nice. That's my buddy. That's my other buddy. That's technically, I guess, my nephew in a weird way, right? Here's my career. So this is actually what I do. I'm with Edward Jones. I like to help people with their retirements, college savings, things like that. I really just like to help people, to be honest with you. That's all I do. I just help people with their financial goals. And here's my newest hobby. Oh, yeah, we'll figure that one out. But, yeah, so literally everything that I just showed you has no meaning anymore. That's it. Pretty cool though. If you see the baby waiting, and so it is waiting. Yeah. Anyway, cool. So that's me. All right.
That was awesome. Now you're one step closer to the next thing we're going to do.
Okay, all right.
So you'll see what that is in a second. So, AJ, you want to come up here for one moment while I... You didn't lose it, did you? Come on. I didn't make it easy, did I? So, I'm going to just let you do this. It's more fun.
I'd like to call Terry up and Jennifer. Terry as her sponsor. I'm going to have you in the blue badge, but Jennifer has completed all of her blue badge responsibilities. So, sorry, at the last board meeting, the final tally, so congratulations.
No more red badge for you.
Welcome to the new blue badge.
And just because, I don't know if this is a new tradition or not, but today, our newest blue badge is also our newest Paul Harris Fellow.
Thank you.
Oh, that's like a standing O for her, okay? I've literally known Jennifer her entire life. Okay, and we don't have a final Friday until January, which seems like a really long way away, but I guess tomorrow's December. So anyway, stopping at one Paul Harris Fellow is, not an option for this crowd. So I'd like to have Brandi come up, please. Because she has Paul Harris Fellow plus one. So she has a new one. It's plus two. I can't read. It's too early in the morning. Thank
She
you
just
for
got two really quick.
And now, John Gullam.
John Gullam.
He's the plus one, but he's not stopping. And one last one. I can't believe all three of them are here. Bobby. Me? Plus four.
Excellent.
Keep giving and giving
Thank
and
you,
giving.
everyone. All right, well, let's see. If you can guess who I'm going to call up next.
He's on his way.
Look at that. Exactly what I was calling for.
We recognize him.
Yeah. So, finally, 2 weeks ago, we had vacation, Thanksgiving, my first Thanksgiving. And on Saturday, so in general, also vacation, I played a lot of tennis. And on Saturday, I played some tennis and slept in. That was really good. And then on Sunday, we went crabbing. So it was a lot of fun, and it didn't took so long like the last time we went fishing. Last time with Cam, when we went fishing, we were out from like 7 in the morning to 5. And there was like at 2:30 we went out, and at 5 we were back. So that was really short and fun and right next to the harbor. That was yeah. And I liked it. It's hard to get the crabs from the ground. That's like it's work, but then we had a lot of crab. And also in the evening we had right away crabs. So I like to fish them, and also the first one was good, but then it was enough crab for me for the day. So yeah. Oh yeah. So then on Monday and Tuesday I played tennis. On Wednesday in the night, Jen's parents arrived, so my host grandparents. And on Wednesday we started cooking for Thanksgiving, and in the morning on Thursday we put the turkey into the oven, and yeah, there it is with how do you say the bread, the puffing? Stuffing, yes. And we had a really good lunch, so I really liked it, and I really liked the turkey. it was nice to have the first Thanksgiving, and we had a beautiful day together and went for a walk, and yeah. That's it. And I think last weekend school started again, and that's mostly it. So on Friday we did a little bit with the grandparents, so with my house grandparents together. And then school came on Monday, and school started. So that's it. Yeah.
We all had to go back to work.
And I brought today some brownies, and I really have to say, the last time when I brought a pie in, or no, a cake in, was a completely fail because I had the German recipe and converted the units to cups. That was like completely failed. And so this time the brownies are way better than yeah.
Good salt. That's
So
what
why
I'm
don't we up again with some of those at the end?
Yeah.
After the wrap?
Yeah.
So perfect. Thank you. Before I call up Matt, who I am about to call up, I'm actually going to call up John to introduce him. But while I call up John, I'm going to show you that I have a check here for $2,010. So, I guess I should explain what it's for. During Taste of the Holidays, we had the fire crews getting donations, and then members of the club gave donations, and then the club matched it, and so we are giving this to Paradise Rotary Club. So, this is a thank you to you for making this happen.
Okay. Matthew Cendejas was born here in Arcata, went to Arcata High, College of the Redwoods, HSU, and is now a grad student in sustainable business at Humboldt State University. After graduation, he wants to stay in this community working with nonprofits and small businesses. Matthew is the past president of Lost Coast Rotaract. He's been on a Rotoplast mission to Bangladesh, was a volunteer firefighter with Arcata Fire for 3 years, volunteer ski patrol at Mount Shasta for 3 years, and founded an international nonprofit in 2014 called InspireONE. Since 2014, he has coordinated and led over 30 individuals to Uganda to teach English and support village improvements in rural communities. Matthew's friends call him an extreme volunteer, but he just says he finds happiness in helping. So, Matthew,
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Matt.
My name's Matthew. You've maybe seen me here once or twice before. Has anybody seen me here? Oh, you remember me. Cool. So, I'm going to get started once I see myself behind me. Once the technology expert.
Decides that it wants to work.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So I'm first going to show you a video. But like John said, I started a nonprofit in 2014. After I went to Uganda in 2013 and was really inspired by the individuals I met and the school that I fell in love with. I loved the school so much, I came back home and I was like, I want to go back to the school and I want to bring people with me. And so once a year I coordinated groups. In the last 4 years, during the summer, I lead groups to Uganda to teach English and work on village community projects. And so here's some that captures the last 4 years. Then after the video, I'm going to take you through the timeline of kind of what we've been up to, where we're at now, and where we're going to in the future. So you can play this. External storage.
Don't believe it. It really doesn't
I don't
play.
It'll play, right?
It'll play.
It'll play, okay. If it doesn't play, then that's totally fine. We'll give it 30 seconds.
All right.
But in the meantime, it might be hard to see for most of you, but I have some little handmade poster boards here. We do fundraisers frequently, and these are old school, not technology, because look, technology doesn't always work. These always work, right? So if you have time afterwards, you can briefly see that we started a lunch project at the school, pictures of Uganda. The school is called Buikwe School, or otherwise known as Hamilton Elementary. I know most of you can't see all this.
Found?
Is that me? No, that's not. That's the wrong video.
That's the wrong video.
Yeah, it's the Africa one.
Oh.
That's classified, actually.
Make it stop.
And then, no, I'm just kidding. And then, yeah, so all the photos of our projects over here. So, also there is some handmade African goods from a women's group that we support once a year. I brought a couple items in. If anybody wants to support the cause and support the women's group afterwards, you can talk to me and get a little stuff like that. Cool. We'll skip the video. We'll say this was the video.
Yes.
Cool, but so in 2013, I went to Uganda, and here I am learning how to draw blood out of real human veins, testing for malaria, HIV, and other STDs. A couple people who came in, we did have to tell them that they did have HIV, which was a heavy day. But there's a school on the top right, that's Hamilton Elementary in Buikwe, Uganda. And there's me teaching, and here's a village group that I met. So this trip really inspired me, right? And the school, I wanted to help the school. And so the school, as you can see, I mean, there's many kids with no shoes. There's a building that wasn't finished. There's doors with no locks, windows with no shutters, and very minimal resources, right? I mean, kids are sharing pencils in classrooms, 2 pencils per classroom of up to 15 kids. Kids aren't able to really work because they're too busy holding their stomach, because they're starving, so they came to school without breakfast. They probably didn't eat dinner before, and they're maybe going to repeat that cycle. So I was like, there has to be something that I can do, right? So I came here, and I talked to friends, and I'm like, hey, I want to start like this organization, because I went to Uganda in 2013 and spent $7,000. You know, my parents did, one of the problems. But, so I was like, I can start something, and I want to start a group. And I started telling my friends, and then one of my friends was like, hey, you should talk to my dad, he's involved with Rotary. And I was like, what the heck is Rotary? You know, I was 20 years old, and sadly I didn't know what it was yet. But my friend Allie told me to text her dad, and I texted her dad, and her dad was Jim Maher. And then all of a sudden he was like, oh yeah, meet me at 7 a.m. at Brio. And I was like, 7 a.m.? Oh my gosh, Rotary does it early. Okay, so go to Cafe Brio, and there I was sitting across the table from, you might know some of these people, Jim Maher, Howard Stauffer, John Gullam, and there was one other individual. And I was telling them like my ideas, showing them my pictures, and I was like, I started this Facebook group and a website, and I want to coordinate people and go to Uganda once a year. And they thought the idea was great, and they loved the idea to help the school. And then emailing back and forth after that, I was like, man, this Rotary thing is like, they're like mentoring me almost, you know, sharing their ideas and I'm sharing my ideas, and extended emails long after that. And here I am 4 years later with some progress, so I'm here to tell you what we've been up to. InspireONE is now the nonprofit that we started. There's our logo. What are we? We're a community service nonprofit. What do? We focus on education and village improvement projects in rural communities around the world, and create a platform for volunteer opportunities. So Village Support Network, we could not be here without them. They are the group that I first stayed with when I first went, and I spent all that money. And the man, Paul, on the right, he is the founder of the school that you saw and the founder of this Village Support Network. He wanted to see his community sustainable. This is rural Uganda. I mean, kids are sleeping on dirt. These village members are sleeping with leaves for roofs and using their t-shirts for pillows, and etc. And what I find fascinating when I met this village group is there's this box right here. And there's 4 locks on the box. Every month they get together. Paul holds the box at his house. 4 keys are distributed equally around in the village groups. And then once a month they get together, open up the box. And if anybody had raised any money, then they would put the money in there. It was basically community investing. And if you've seen Living on $1 a Day on Netflix, they go over kind of a model like this, where they save up enough money and then they buy a cow for the most suitable individuals. Then they'll have the cow, continue to community invest, and then by the time the cows, everybody gets a cow eventually, and then they work on to other things. I thought that was brilliant. There's no banking out in rural places like this. I mean, they created their own banking system. In 2015, we started fundraising after we founded in 2014. A year later, 9 individuals paid their own airfare, gave $400 to Village Support Network each, and we were all in Uganda teaching English and doing these village improvement projects. All of these peeps are raised in Humboldt County. We got Jordan Rohde, Olivia Carp, Echo Burke, Greta Hushley, Eli Heydrich, Alina Samuels, Sage Wolf, and myself. From NPA to Arcata High down to South Fork. We were marketing ourselves on social media, flyers, and local advertisement, and these are the individuals that paid a lot of money to come with us, but not a lot, not $7,000 though. We wanted to create an affordable platform. They're there and back for under $3,000. Some of the projects we did: teaching English, cooking food. Tomo Restaurant has purchased 2 cows. Calo Salon has purchased 2 cows. Some local businesses that have shown us a lot of support. So we came back, and after our first year, I was like, wow, you know, people are inspired after coming back, just like I was. They helped us fundraise, and so this next year in 2016 was our second year. We had another 9 people sign up with us, and we raised a little sum of money to support the school because soccer balls would go out to the street, and then children were getting hit by taxis and motorcycles, which are very sad stories. So we're like, we need to build a fence, we need to get them some pencils, we need to start a lunch project. So here's the individuals. We got more Arcata High alum. We got Nathan Heydrich, Forrest Iverson, Angie Patel, Colin Townsworth, and Tony Valtricus down from Fortuna High. Multiple Arcata High alums, and we got Fortuna High alums in there. Supported local businesses in Uganda by purchasing benches and what are those, tables and chairs. Another cow, this was cows by Calo Salon. Colin Townsend up there. Shoes That Grow, does anybody know what this is? Yeah, from Because International. John Gullam, I gotta give a special shout out to him because we have now been able to bring over 350 pairs of shoes in the last 3 years, thanks to the coordination from John. So if I could give everybody, if everybody could give a round of applause. Some of these children are walking 20 minutes to an hour one way to school, and I've seen the intense infections they could have. That was my first year. I haven't seen that anymore because they're keeping their feet off the ground. So really, thank you, John. It's a really big deal. And the kids love it. And we've seen the shoes last over a year and 2 years on some of the shoes because we go every year, so we see that they're still wearing the shoes before. So they're really durable. And then here's the fence that we helped build and purchase. And then, so our biggest success, I'd say, in InspireONE is the start of our lunch project. The kids were not being fed at the school, so we want to change that. And so we raised money to build a kitchen and hire a chef, a cook. So in the last we started this June 30th of 2016, and today is November 30th, 2018. So 17 months, and today marks the 85,000th meal that's been provided by the school. We committed to send $500 a month, do fundraiser over here, we send $500 a month, and that provides 5,000 meals at the school, 100 kids, 2 meals a day. So we've seen increased test scores, increased attendance, increased teacher participation because now the teachers are getting fed. Here's the very first lunch line. This took a lot of organization. It looked like they'd never done a lunch line because they realistically haven't. So yeah, big deals there. And then 2017, there's another crew. We got a Rotaractor, Megan McAllister. I went on the Rotary class mission with her. And then the top left, there's a woman named Jasmine. She came from Kentucky. She found us online. So that was our first real outside source of a volunteer, which is really cool, seeing the expansion happen. And then yeah, we got some Eureka High folks, so still seeing the local community, but we're constantly seeing that people in the local community want to travel, they want to volunteer, you know, this is a thing. So we're riding with it. And then we funded a rainwater catchment system, 500-gallon tank, so now they're provided with water for all the cooking that they need to do every day, and sanitation, hand washing, and etc. More Shoes That Grow, thanks to John Gullam. Kids love it. Then 2018 comes around, this year. Here's our crew. I was not able to go because I was saving money for grad school, but me not being able to go shows that the organization can still continue. We're at that point now. Sage Wolf, the left, is leading the trip. That was her 4th time going. And then we have Abby Anderson, Jimmy Thompson from Arcata High, Bryce Mateer from Arcata High, and Justin Furtado. So again, seeing more Arcata High folks in there, and maybe you guys know some of those names. And then this woman was from San Francisco, so another outside source volunteer. And this is the school today. After 4 years of small fundraisers and raising money from every volunteer that we bring over there, and using that money to infuse the economy there, we try to buy as much as we can while we're there. And now we got flagpoles, we got tires. Look at that roof now. I mean, that's what it was when I first went, and that's what it is now.
Wow.
We even got Tom and Jerry and Mickey Mouse over there. And yeah, we got Hamilton Elementary sign. So the school's doing a lot better. They're being fed. There's still issues with funding though. I mean, we're over here, frequently doing fundraisers and needing to raise that $500. But we're making it happen. But we're also looking for a little support. But what are our future goals? Is to partner with organizations around the world to collaborate and send volunteers. Right now we're focused only on Uganda, but recently I've been in touch with a group in Peru. A friend of mine went to Peru a few years ago with this organization, and she was like, man, you should reach out to them and see if you can do a collaboration. Reached out to them, and then I was like, hey, can I coordinate volunteers and send them your way? And they're like, of course. And so this is our first international, other than Uganda, collaboration, and we have 2 individuals that have applied and they're ready to go and teach English in Arequipa, Peru. Also talking to somebody right now about a nonprofit they work with in India, about 2020, sending volunteers to India, and working on becoming more involved in the global market, internet databases. So talking to local and international people on how to really put ourselves out there to the international community so we can get volunteers from New Zealand and Australia and etc. Currently in grad school, John said, so I'm applying for a position of study abroad in Australia next semester, which covers international business and global marketing. So my efforts will continue, and I'm going to continue doing this, and so hopefully you'll all see me again, giving you more updates down the road. But ways to support us, from little to big, we do rummage sales, yard sales, once a month, and you might have seen us outside Northtown Coffee. So these generate anywhere from $500 to $700 per month, and how we get the stuff is by asking people, like, hey, give us your old stuff, donate your quality junk. And then we resell it and use that money, and that is really how we're feeding those kids over there and sending them $500. So if you have any loose items around the house, the garage, something that your husband or wife has that you maybe will sneak and put away, they'll tell you, hey, don't take this away. No, I'm just kidding.
Be very careful doing that.
But yes, so you can donate your junk, you can give it to us, and we'll resell it. We're trying to start a small business and kickstart a self-sufficient school. $5,000 to $7,000 will start a small business. That I'm working closely to make a business plan. They already have 2 business plans going, so looking for an angel investor to donate $5,000 to $7,000, kickstart that small business, and then create the school to be self-sufficient. So if anybody out there is willing to work with me on that, or even just brainstorm on how we can, or how I can, get that to happen. I'm always just looking to network and talk to people, whether it happens or not. I just love networking and communicating. So I have business cards if anybody wants to collaborate. And then I'll end it with my quote here on the back of my cards, and what we've been all about is inspiring the children today to care for the world of tomorrow. Thank you.
Yes, we have a couple things for you. So we made a donation in your name to the Wheelchair Foundation. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And then, Maggie, could I get you to come?
Yeah, I was just going to say that World Community Services, our committee meets next Tuesday morning at 7:30, and one of the topics that we will put on the agenda is talking about how we might be able to work with his group. So if you're interested in having input into how our club can, at least from the financial side, be involved, come to the meeting Tuesday morning at 7:30 at Crystal.
Great, thank you. Cool. Yeah, awesome.
So,
Is there any type of question? Oh, no, you guys got to go.
I was just going to say, if you're able to stay after.
I am able to stay, yes.
Please stay, and if you have questions.
Yeah, come mingle with me afterwards if you have any questions.
Thank you. Okay. So, let's do the raffle while I try to fix this.
Okay, the raffle. One 481745.
Ooh, that happens.
745.
That happens to be this one. This one right here.
You again?
Yeah. Sorry, Michael.
I missed by one, Dick.
Hi, Paul. $5.
Okay. Okay, one more.
Don't pick yours.
More chance.
I did it. 741. 741.
It's going to be Dick.
Dick, 741.
It worked out fine. No, this is just on his Michael.
Oh, okay.
Michael and I were next to each other in line, and so.
I know.
So now,
So how do we work?
well, that's what we're going to discuss right now. So two people just
$5,
at least
Mike.
$5. So clearly,
You're not going to be holding on to that very
clearly. So this is up to you. How would you like to do this?
Oh, yeah. No problem.
All right.
It's heavy duty, isn't it? Did you get those healers too?
You'll do far better if we do this
Yeah.
individually.
What?
I'm not sure how we're going to scoop it out of here, but
We have knives.
there are some knives. So, before you all run off, I think you should all funnel out this way. You should have a chance standing talking about it. But as you go out, funnel past Finn, give him your money, and take one of his lovely brownies, which are a much better recipe this time. So, on that note,